Hi, I'm Stacy. Welcome to the kitchen of my old Kentucky home. Today on Bourbon and Biscuits, we're going to take some inspiration from the historic Germantown neighborhood here in Louisville, and we're going to show you how to whip up 2 classic Kentucky staples. We've done some really elaborate recipes here on Bourbon and Biscuits, from classic fried chicken to homemade burgoo, but some Kentucky traditions are as simple as they are classic. One of those, fried bologna. Here's what we'll need: bologna, white bread. Let's get started. Well, this is definitely the simplest recipe we've probably ever done on Bourbon and Biscuits, and all we're going to do is simply slice our bologna to the thickness that we desire. If you get store-bought bologna, sometimes comes pre-sliced. I get that sometimes, but I like a little thicker in this sandwich. So I'm going to do it, I guess, maybe like almost a half an inch. And this is more important if you have the thin slices that are pre-sliced, but I like to score it as well before we put it in the pan. And of course, you'll want to remove this red wrapper. I'm going to do that, and we're simply going to take it to the stove. There was a huge immigration of German immigrants in the middle 1800s, and though they settled across the city, a major population ended up in the Germantown neighborhood, where that lineage still exists today, and their food traditions have remained. There is a pub nearly on every corner, and you can find bologna sandwiches at every one of them, including some of my favorites that have been around for years, like Check's. There's almost as many pubs as there are Catholic churches. Now, the classic fried bologna sandwich in Germantown is simply fried bologna and white bread. But if you're feeling a little fancy, like we often do, we thought we'd show you some of our favorite additions. So I'm gonna make some. I'm simply gonna put this on, and I'm gonna go on and quarter it. So when I was growing up, I loved simply yellow mustard and a hamburger dill pickle. And when we didn't have white bread, which was sometimes, I would run out, we would just simply put it on a saltine. So that is one version there. Then, as I got a little older, your taste buds change a little bit. I'm gonna do that one. Started putting homemade pimento cheese, or store-bought. So that's one version. And then finally, this has just been in the last couple of years, I was at the farmer's market that we go to on Saturdays, and there was a guy selling bologna from the farm. It's a little more upmarket, had some garlic in it. He suggested using it like you would do a BLT. So he puts tomato and Duke's mayonnaise on his. And I will say that is probably now my new favorite tradition. So again, simple recipe, which is gonna be paired with a really simple, shall I say, cocktail. So let's go to Jessica for that.
All right, y'all, so this is truly not a cocktail recipe. It is very simply a shot and a beer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pour this. This is something that you're very likely to hear ordered at one of those kind of dive bars in Germantown, and probably at dive bars all around the country. But in Louisville, of course, you're gonna get it with Old Foe or Old Forester and a local beer. And this beer that I have here is actually made by Monarch Brewing Company. They are located in Germantown. This is a Hawks Pilsner, which is specially brewed in honor of the corner store where the World Championship of Dainty takes place every summer. So this is kind of a really quirky Louisville festival. Participants have to be 45 years of age or older. The goal is to hit a little wooden piece called a Dainty literally down the street. People line up on the side of the street, they eat $2 bologna sandwiches, drink local beer, and they raise money for the Sisters of Our Lady of Perpetual Sorrow. And so this has been a tradition in Louisville for a long time, happens every summer. It's just a lot of fun and, just simple, good beer and a shot.
All right, Stacey, so this episode was a little bit more of just a Germantown appreciation episode than really crafting a dish and a cocktail.
True, although if you're gonna be making fried bologna at home, hopefully we've showed you some fun additions to that, right?
Yeah, and next time you visit Louisville and you come to Germantown, you'll confidently know how to eat and drink like a local.
So true. So we'll see you next time on Bourbon
and Biscuits.
Cheers.